สวัสดีครับ Greetings from Bangkok once again from Kasit Piromya. This time I will talk to you on the subject of the civic space for freedom of expression, freedom to participate in the affairs of the Thai society. I pick up this subject for this week talk because I have become a bit more concerned and worried that there is now a rising trend of authoritarianism, of the limitation of the civic space for the Thai people in general and for Thai political activists in particular. And I say this from the premise that the political arena of Thailand has drastically changed as of the 14th of May of this year at the national elections, in the sense that all the conservative leaning parties of Thailand were all collectively soundly defeated by a more progressive political party in the name of the Move Forward Party. The Move Forward Party came first in the national elections on the 14th of May under the motto or under the flag of change, of transformation of the Thai society into a more transparent and participatory manner, and to do away with rules and regulations, norms and practices that are not in keeping with the modern requirements of politics domestically and internationally, that whatever the government or the power in being does, it has to inform the people in a clear-cut manner. It must provide access of information to the people. And what it does, it must be transparent, and it must honor the principle of accountability. And it cannot weaponization the laws and the regulations for its own political advantages and for the continuation in power. It must also honor and obey the rule of law, and to avoid at all costs the use of law as a political weapon, or to run the country on the basis of rule of by law rather than rule of law. But for the past few weeks and so on, there seems to be a rising trend of the limitation of the civic and political space for the Thai people in general and for the political activists in particular. And I think this is not a good sign for Thailand as it still continues to undergo the democratization process. The case in point was one of the former politician or political activists, a relatively young woman, was declared by the Court of Justice that she could no longer participate in political activities. Non-participation is a life term, that from now on until she dies, she cannot participate in the political activities of Thailand, say becoming a candidate for a parliamentary seat or to hold a political position in the executive branch of Thailand. And what was the charge? It's about her expression, about an institution of the Thai kingdom. Does that warrant such a punishment? Could there be only a reprimand, an explanation to be given that what she did is not quite acceptable? Could she change her mind, reconcile a bit, accommodate a bit, but not to penalize her for life of non-participation in the formal political activities? Such punishment is not only severe, but is it also a message to be put across to the Thai public in general, and to the progressive forces and to the political activists, that don't you ever dare to say anything because punishment will be severe? Does the Thai society need that type of reprimand, that type of threat, in order to deny each other the ability to sit down and have a dialogue, to speak to one another as civilized people in a peaceful manner, and to be able to air out, speak out what are one's respective concerns, whether the compromise could be forged, whether the enhancement of the understanding and the mutual respect could be reached, but not this type of crime and punishment approach. And the punishment somehow seems to be out of proportion to the crime. And that would only increase the sense of antagonism, the sense of injustice and unfairness. Thailand does not need that type of negative and sinister atmosphere. We, the Thai people, should have the ability to reason out, to talk to one another, and to accommodate one another from a different perspective, points of view, or from a different angle, and try to reach out to one another, accommodate, and to be able to live together and to continue to keep on enlarging the civic and political space and not to narrow it day by day. That would not be good for the society. It would instead be detrimental to the Thai society as a whole, because we will, at the end of the day, will not be able to speak to one another, to shake hands, but only to antagonize each other more and more, and finally to reach for the zero-sum game of one winner and one loser, and not everyone has the life chance to be all the winners in the Thai society. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณมากครับ